So are you one of the many people went out and got yourself the new OEX solar cook set? Or are you thinking about buying it and you're looking for some little review or help about it on YouTube? Well, this video is for you, because I'm going to show you how there's a problem and how I've solved the problem. Now, when you get the little stove out of the drawstring bag, you pull the lid off and all you get inside is the stove part itself. So once you connect the stove part to it, very simple, everything just becomes ready to go. You attach your gas canister. I always have problems getting these in. Let's see if I can do it this way easier. There we go. Why didn't I just do that at the beginning? So there we go. Now it's good enough to be boiling some water for tea, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you drink when you're out hiking or camping. If you've got a dehydrated meal and you need to boil some water for it, you can do it with the water you boil. If you've got a hydrated meal and you want to reheat the meal, put a little bit of water in bottom, put your bag in, let the water boil up, and then it'll reheat your food. There's no way at the moment that you can use this for to attach a frying pan or a bigger pan if you want to heat some soup up or boil more water if you're like 2 or 3 people out camping, you all want to drink. But I've solved the problem. Now take the pot off the stove. You can get one out of your Takana cook pot. That's the OEX one. If you've got the OEX Takana cook pot and you've got this pot support, this does work. It fits on like so. That's fantastic. But if you take this out camping with and you do this, the problem using this one is, even though it's a bit easier than what I'm going to be showing you next, the problem with this is it don't fit inside the pot. So you're going to have to put this somewhere else in your bag. And if you're like me, you like all your stuff to do with the little stove set all in one. So next time you get it out, it's all there. So this works, but it's not suitable because you've got to start putting that elsewhere. And when you need it, you've got to find it. But there is a solution. I didn't go outdoors over there, and I was just looking at this cook pot and looking at some ideas. And I seen the Jetboil pot support. Adapts your Jetboil burner for pots and pans. Well, this isn't a Jetboil, we all know it's the OEX one, but it's a bang on the right size for what we need. This cost me $11.99 from Go Outdoors. The size difference is fantastic, and it goes inside your little pot. So when you put your stove inside, everything is perfect then. It's all in one area. That's what I was on about a minute ago. I like it for it to be all in one. And then you can just put it back in the bag. Like so. But there's still a slight problem to using this pot holder with this stove. Now, the stove, you need to do a little bit of filing. If you've got a metal file or you work in any industry where you can use some electrical tooling, I'm lucky, I'm a sheet metal worker, so I've got access to metal tools all day. What I have to do is file this down. If I can put it against this chair behind me, you see how it's the circle, then it's got this little cutout here. That is for the spark on the stove where you light your gas with, this thing here. If you don't have that, once you put your stove over it, like once it fits over your stove like this, can you see how it's a bit higher at this side compared to this side? That's because the sparker starter thing, whatever you call it, ignition starter, whatever you want to call it, it don't fit in properly there. So that's why it's got this raise here. But where I've cut it out a little bit, we'll filed it out, let's say, at the bottom here. If you put that in place there, so you see how it's got the gap now? And can you see now how it's equal at both sides? That is what you need to do. If you get it for this, you have to grind or file it down, but make sure you do go after like this ring here, the last, like a little platform thing in it. Make sure you take it further back as that as you can, just so you know you're clearly away from the ignition part. Because what will happen if it touches the ignition part, like just say like that as it is, then when you press the ignition switch for it to spark, the spark comes to the stainless steel part here, and then it doesn't ignite the gas. So that is a problem. So that's why you need to try file it back as far as you can, then it won't do it. Let's quickly stick it back on the gas canister and show you, but once you take it back it does ignite. There you go. If you don't do it, and you do it the opposite way and you don't file that out, let's try to get it on. That might be a bit better. If it's on like that, and you can see it's how it's on the slope again, when you try to it, it won't do it. Might do it, it's a bit higher. No, it won't do it, and that's because, like I say, the spark is making contact with the pot stand, and then it's causing it to divert the little spark from the gas to the stove. So if you do it again now, that's exactly what I mean. So you do have to file that down the best you can. A little metal file, something like that. Or what you can get, if you've got like some little metal wire cutters, you can snip it, bend it round, twist it a little bit. Make sure you don't bend the pot holder too much with the twisting round. That'll snap off, and you just have to be careful there's no sharp points, because remember, every time you get the stove out, you're going to have to deal with that. So that is a way you can do it. And then when you put it back on, and then when you stick your pans back on, frying pan let's say, look at the distance you've got now. You've got all this here from here, and with the big pan, it's going to be the same again, the distance. But then now you can start putting the bigger pans on if you want to boil more water for a group of people, or you want to cook some other things in there using your gas canister. If you don't have that on, look how close it is. You will end up burning the bottom of your pan, and if you use a frying pan, all the heat is just going to be more into one area, so you end up burning your food, or you may burn your pan a little bit. When it's got that bit of distance, it just allows the flames and the heat just to move out a bit to warm the pan up more evenly. This is what you do need, and it makes a lot of difference. Now, I know someone's going to say, why didn't OX do it? I don't know why they didn't do it. Like I say, I think they just made this one as a quick way, like I say, to boil some water for tea, coffee, hot chocolate when you're on the move, and maybe, like I say, hydrated, dehydrated meals to make them. But if you want to adapt it, you can get this Jetboil one. It's sold at Go Outdoors. I'll try to put a link in the description for you if you're interested. I'll try to find the Amazon one, because some people can't get to Go Outdoors as easy, and everyone can get to Amazon to bring it to your doorstep. If I can't get on Amazon, I'll get the Go Outdoors one for you. Like I say, file it down. When you get it and you put it in place, you'll start noticing, you know, but it's not level, so you need to try to take it a bit more. And you do get like these little things here. There's 4 of them. Just when you get some pliers, just twist them around a little bit. It allows it to fit into the pan a bit better as well. But that is the way you can turn your cook pot into a pot pan holder, maybe, and stuff like that. Problem solved, but you still have to work to get to this stage. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like what you're seeing, you want to see my channel, check out the playlist. You can subscribe here if you want to my channel. I'll be doing a camping video over the weekend. I'll put some up here for you to see. But most of all, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you in what you need to know.